They just raised my interest rate. I mean, I pay my credit cards off on time, but they just raised my interest rate. So your credit's going up, or you can't get any credit. You can't buy a house. You can't buy a car. What are we gonna do?
Well, you're gonna live like the people in Jamaica, the third world. 4 or 5 families to a house.
That's right.
See, and it's gonna be rough and tough. And then people are gonna run up losing their mind because they can't deal with it. See, the scripture, the Revelation said Babylon is fallen. This is a great empire or commercial system that the bankers had. They strangled the nations. They have raped Africa. They have raped South America. Now we're talking about bankers. And these corporations, now the whole system is crashing on them. Now they say, you know what, we want you to pay for our mistakes. And the folks are stupid enough to go ahead and people say, a lot of people are losing it. And I said, no, we ain't going to pay for your losses now. But you want to keep the profit, but we pay for your losses. So you see then that the system is collapsing, and money as we know it to be will cease to fail, and folks have not smelled the coffee. They begin to know something's wrong, but they're going to wake up one morning and find out that bread is... See what can happen. This is what's happening. Everybody thinks things are going to get literally. Those that know think things is going to get literally bad, worse by worse, little by little. And then other people think it's going to get better, but they don't realize that you got most American debt. 50% of our debt. Oh, I think it's maybe 60%. 50 or 60% of the debt is held by foreigners. They own our bonds and etc. And at some point, if they keep seeing these treasury bonds and notes being what, you just keep printing them out. At some point, they say, wait a minute, I'm losing what? Money. So I just might as well take my losses, so they can wind up selling the bonds. Interest rates would spike up, and the dollar could fall overnight, could lose 35-40%. So you could wake up one morning and have a bank holiday, and the next day when it's all over with, all the prices have went up 35-40% in one day. And so that's a scramble to the what? The bank, the grocery store to buy stuff, and stuff has went up, and gold and silver stuff would just go crazy.
But this could happen this year because the dollar could collapse this year, right?
Well,
or within a year.
I would say within the next 18 or 2 years.
It's possible.
Yeah, they could probably hold it off, because they don't have everybody drink the Kool-Aid, and with propaganda hold folks on. But at some point, you can believe, you can stay in a delusion for a while, or you can believe a lie, drink the Kool-Aid. But at some time, reality hits you. When you have $1 billion in a Federal Reserve note, and the dollar lose 10 or 20% of its value, you say, wait a minute, I don't want to lose another 20.
Right.
So at some point, you say, well, it's time for me to cash my chips in. And then when they do that would crash the dollar and cause a dollar crisis throughout the world as everybody is fleeing. That's what China's doing. China is trying to take, what do you do with over $1 trillion in bonds and dollars? You go around the world, you buy up what? You start buying up gold mine, resources, oil, everything. Contracts with Russia for 25. You just try to get rid of these paper. You're trying to get some solid assets. In other words, I got oil for 25 years. I own this gold mine. I own this. They're going to come to America and say, okay, we're going to start buying land, farms, and everything. And then these Chinese own everything. And then that's when the white people go off. Because they find out that the government doesn't sold them out. See, and then things get real crazy. And this is what's happening now, and not only here, but you have riots. Yesterday was Friday was May Day. Even in France, they kidnapped the bosses now. From Honda and these foreign companies come in and say they're going to lay off people. They kidnap. They call it boss snapping. See, and I don't agree with that because, listen, they don't understand the greater picture is the Rothschilds and the bankers, the great bankers, are the ones they can't get to.
Right.
So these are people that's trying to maintain a profit. And they are riding in the street, and everybody is saying around the world, we are not going to pay for the bankers bankrupting us. And this is the problem we have today.
So last question, you can close out with the final statement, is that, so anarchy, will the anarchy happen in this country this year or in 2010?
I'd give it another 2. I would say, as I was down at KNTV, and one of the ladies said she had a TV called Take It to the Streets. And I told her, I said, you ain't going to be long, they're going to take it to the streets. They're going to be in the streets. I'm talking about people are going to be, you have food rides, you're going to have squatter rides, you're going to have all types of rides, and the government and FEMA and Homeland Security, they're prepared. They know what's coming because they can already see in Iceland, throughout the world, there are riots already.
But this is going to be like the French Revolution because it seems like the poor is not going to riot. Only the middle class is upset.
Well, I tell you
and the
this.
upper middle class. The poor don't care.
Listen,
Poor been poor for years.
Listen, when you get hungry enough, you do anything.
As long as they had a link card, they not going to riot.
The
You
point
take away the
is,
link card, then you're going to have some problems.
the point is, what will it buy?
Yeah, that's the question.
Okay, what will it buy? That's good.
See, you don't know how much. In other words, if you get bread down to $15 a loaf and you only give it $800, I mean, you got 4 children, 5 children. I mean, you got to do something to feed your family. You can do whatever is required. That's what I'm saying. That people, even in Europe, France, everybody is very tense now, as the system, economic system, is actually bankrupt, folks. It's insolvent. I don't care who you are. So my suggestion to you is spiritually and psychologically, you got to prepare 3 ways. Physically, in terms of gold and silver, and spiritually and psychologically prepare to keep you from your mind from snapping in all this chaos and turmoil. You got all types of diseases and man-made pestilence are being turned loose. You got the swine flu, you got the avian flu. All these are man-made things that are being put on people to thin the flock. So you got that. So in closing, I hope that you take some silence of the words I say and take care of business while you yet have time, because chaos there's no way that this thing can be turned around. No way. Because it's been going too long and the people are too powerful, are not going to make the changes that's required to save the little man, to wreck the system. Again, I want to thank you, Mark, for allowing me to come on, and you can always contact me on the PLIM line. I mean, you email me at, I think it's PLIM@PLIM.org. You can email me or call the PLIM line, but it's basically email me. So we'll probably keep this thing going for 5 or 6 times this year, but expect things to get continually worse, especially maybe a little uptick in the economy for a while, but again, print money is no solution.
Right.
Give Dr. Warren a big hand. Give him a big hand. He's a man. Y'all don't want to be on TV? Nah. Y'all want to be on TV? No, I'm not going to put you on. So.